JustBeLive.com is giving away $1,000 in the first Free to Be Live online film festival. Submit your film, 5 minutes or less, about Free FM at 971freefm.com. You pick the winner. It's powered by JustBeLive.com and 97.1 Free FM.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. Really enjoying just hanging out here, doing my thing. Hope you're having a good time where you are, sitting in the car or, you know. Our listeners are not like the old Standards listeners listening in South Florida. They're not sitting on a gurney somewhere or in a golf cart. Our listeners are active people. They get out of the house. They're out doing things. We welcome all of our new listeners in South Florida listening to us on Man Talk 640, WMEN in, well, they're actually based in Palm Beach, but of course, they can be heard. This is one of the greatest signals right now in South Florida. We can be heard in Dade and Broward counties, and we know we're going to be hearing from you. And by the way, if you are new to the show, let me give you that number again so you'll have it ready to go. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's 1-800-5800-866. In this segment of the program, I know there are women out there who just don't get men. They don't get us. They don't understand us. And I was looking at an article, and it's way too long to read it on the air, so I'm not going to. But I want you to be aware of it. And, in fact, maybe possibly go look at it. There is an article that was really getting me upset. I was looking at it, and it just made me so mad. About women who make a little plan to get pregnant. You know the deal. They make a little plan. Usually we're not involved in it. We men don't know about it. We don't know it's coming. We don't know what's happening. Somehow, they just get pregnant. Oops, it's an accident. Nothing pisses me off more than this. Nothing pisses me off more than women who do this. My God, it freaks me out. Pisses me off. I do not understand why women do this. And they do it, and they think we're supposed to be happy about it. That's the thing that gets me. We are supposed to be happy when they do this to us. We're supposed to be thrilled, you know, like they give us the news, and then we're supposed to be happy about it. Oh, honey, I guess I forgot to take the pill, so I'm pregnant. It's an accident. And women in this one article, which appeared on the website called Slate, as in Slate.com. Many women were interviewed for this article, and they said that the reason they did it was not to be involved in trickery, not to be evil, just to kind of move things along, you know. Kind of goad the men into, moving the relationship to the next step. And they don't see themselves as evil. That was the most amazing thing that I read in this article. These women do not see it as evil to be out there, getting pregnant. And by the way, I'm not talking about even the true accidents. I'm talking about the ones where women go, oops. And you know these are not accidents. They planned it. But they think that, the guy will just go along. And in reality, there's a lot of anger out there. And I think there's a lot of misunderstanding between men and women because I talk to these guys all the time. And they are either brutally angry or they are just resigned to the fact that their life has been set up for them and this wasn't the plan. But the women interviewed thought, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing here. This is just peachy. We forget to take the pill. Oops. We, just kind of, well, we forgot to use the diaphragm or it was the heat of the moment or whatever. We never said anything, never did anything to stop it because ultimately this is what needs to happen. And I'm living with a guy who's a victim of the Peter Pan syndrome, somebody who never wants to grow up, somebody who never wants to have responsibilities. He needs his mommy to kind of take him by the hand and move him through life. That's how women see it, so they don't see themselves as like being gold diggers or money stealers, or they don't see themselves as trying to take control of a situation, of a man's life. They don't see it as being wrong at all. They see it as, he just needs a little push. He just needs a little push. That was a quote I kept seeing. He just needs a little push. Oh, he needs more than just a little push. He needs a push out the door. You know what? If he doesn't want to have a baby and you do, how about, this is the thing that amazes me about women. How about you get out of the relationship? How about you find a guy who wants to breed with you? How about you find a guy who wants to procreate with you? Why would you take the risk that you're going to alienate the guy you are with? But clearly women don't care about that. They don't. They want to have a baby, and they've looked into your eyes, and they say, I want my baby to have your eyes. And I want the money to come from your wallet. And so I've made the decision, and that's that. And we so badly want to get laid, we don't pay attention to the warning signs or the red flags, and that's why we get screwed. The only reason I sit here at 50 years old, never, ever having had a baby, is because I was so focused on it. Did I want to get laid when I was younger, and do I still want to get laid now? You bet. But I never wanted to get laid so much that it might cost me money. I just have I don't even know the word. I'm so opposed. I'm so opposed to paying for sex, whether it's paying for sex to a hooker or paying a stripper, and I am opposed to the idea that in order to have sex with a woman, I have to impregnate her and then pay her for the next 18 years. It's all the same thing to me. And it all offends me. All of it. All of it. God damn, it pisses me off. This hour, I want to talk to women who, who got pregnant, and when they came to the boyfriend or the husband, he flipped out, angry, hates you, and you don't understand it. You thought you were doing a good thing. You thought you were bringing joy into the world, and you were going to take your relationship to the next level. You didn't mean anything by it. It wasn't evil or anything. You just thought, hey, are there women like the women in this article? There are probably women out there right now forgetting to take the pill, quote unquote, forgetting to take it. You put the diaphragm in sometimes for show. Other times you forget to stick it in there. Sometimes you forget to use the contraceptive gel. Other stuff you stuff in there, he can't see whether it's in there or not. Sometimes you forget to stuff it in there, and he doesn't care. He doesn't even ask you questions. And so you figure, what the hell? He probably wants to have a little baby. He wants to have a little him. I have got to talk to women who do this. And whether you're doing it now, or whether you are just recently finding out that the little surprise you had for him, remember that night you planned a little candlelight dinner, honey? Come home. I've got something great news I want to share with you. Come home. And then he came home, and it was a nightmare. A nightmare. You didn't think you were being evil at all. Are there women like that out there? I've got to talk to them.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
If there's a hell, I'm going.
You say that now and you joke about it now.
You know what kind of talk show I could do in hell? I could imagine the guests I could have in there. Hitler, Mussolini.
Right?
I'd be the Larry King of hell. It'd be great.
The Tom Leykis Show.
At 1-800-5800-TOM. Hi. I want to talk to these women who do this. I want to understand why you're doing it. Heather on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, this is Heather.
Yes, I know. I just said that.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good.
Well, first of all, don't judge me too harshly because I've paid the price for this for many years, and I did get pregnant on purpose, and I.
Wait. You didn't just do it on purpose. You did it on purpose and without somebody's knowledge.
Exactly. And
well, here's the deal. It's not so much a matter of beating you over the head. Here's what I want to know. What made you think that was a good idea? Like, what made you think that would work out?
I was trying to save my relationship with this person. I had moved from Tucson up to Carson City, Nevada, and things weren't working out very well. I was very young. I was 22, I think, at the time. And I thought that basically it would make him make a commitment to me. His brother was getting married, and the girl that he was with, she was pregnant. And I guess I just, I was in love with him, and I thought that,
You thought that deceiving him would be a good way to keep him.
Right. And I there's.
I was being facetious, and you said, yes, right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're in love with somebody, why would you think that deceiving them would be a way to strengthen your relationship?
I don't now, okay? But back then, I was very young, and I thought that it would. I realize now that it was like the most horrible thing and selfish thing I could ever have done to anybody, and the biggest victim of it is my son. He has never met his father because of this. After I told him that I was pregnant, he didn't want anything to do with me. He wouldn't, take my phone calls. He wouldn't speak to me. And I haven't spoken to him in 16 years. And every day I pay the price of that. I mean, I have a little boy who I can't explain to him why he doesn't have a father. And I mean, I think any child that comes into this world should have a mother and a father. And both of those parents should absolutely want that child. And for what it's worth, I mean, it's come back and God's punished me for it, or karma, or whatever. I mean, I'm trying to have a baby now with my husband, and we can't have children because I have tubal blockage. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a wrong and horrible thing that someone could ever do to somebody.
What do you tell your son?
What do you mean, what do I tell him?
Does he ever ask you why he never sees his father?
He asked about his father, and do you know how awful it was to try to mildly, sweetly put in so many words that it's because your father doesn't want to see you, because he never wanted children, and he told me this. I mean, I know you're thinking I'm an evil, horrible person, and I didn't really, I didn't believe him. I mean, we were both so young then. I said, he'll change his mind or whatever, after this. But I mean, it was just, it's hard to tell your son, why you can't make someone want to be in their life.
And even at that, you didn't tell your son the whole story if that's what you told him, because saying his father didn't want to see him, he doesn't know why his father didn't want to see him.
Oh, no, I told him it was because of me. I told him that I wanted to have him, which I did, which is, the truth of the matter. But of course I didn't come right out and say that I deceived, I did this on purpose and I was being, selfish. I mean, I think I did tell him I was selfish, but I was selfish. And I was, I just look back now and I am so sorry that I ever did that. And I know, I mean, in this day and age, there should be no unwanted or accidental pregnancies, except maybe in the case of incest or rape. And, men, they do need to protect themselves. I mean, I don't like the advice you give out for young men to wear a condom. And, I mean, that's just so true. I mean, I really think that people should have a license to have children, because, I mean, it's just a whole process. I mean, a kid's not just like a puppy that you take home. There's so much responsibility that's attached to it, and they're expensive. I mean, I pay $900 a month for my kid to go to a parochial school and alone.
And does his father support his son or no?
I get child support. Yes, I do. I had to go through the county attorney's office, and I get the child support. And of course, he denied the paternity, and but it came back that he was the father, which he was. And Did you ever think about the fact first you deceived him, and now you take money from him? Yeah, I know, I do.
And you feel good about that?
I needed to help raise this kid. No, I don't think it's right. No, I don't think it's right.
But it didn't stop you from going to court and getting the money.
I think partially way back then, to just tell you how, it was a kind of a revenge thing, because he didn't want me or whatever, and
He didn't want you because you lied to him.
No, he didn't. Our relationship ended before I guess before I ever got pregnant. But it's not like he didn't want me because I lied to him.
So the relationship ended, and then you had sex with him, and then you got pregnant without him knowing about it.
Yes.
Which is deception.
Right.
And then you needed to get back at him for what? You got pregnant to get back at him?
No, I didn't get pregnant to get back at him. I took him to court for child support to get back at him.
Why?
And this is my thought process when I was 20.
Well, there's nothing stopping you from sending that money back.
I need it for my son.
I know, but again, you put yourself in that position.
I realize that, but it takes two to tango, too. I mean, he could have, if he would have...
But he believed that you wouldn't or couldn't get pregnant.
No, I don't think he didn't believe. I didn't tell him I wouldn't or couldn't get pregnant. He knew I could get pregnant.
He told you he didn't want to have any kids.
Right.
And you were not using birth control. Did you say, oh, by the way, I'm not using any birth control?
Yeah, I told him right then I'm not using any birth control.
So you let him know?
I let him know.
And you let him know that if you got pregnant, you'd have a kid?
We never talked about it.
But you could have brought that up.
Probably so, but I wasn't thinking that, to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking that I was going to be pregnant. I was really just not being careful with the birth control. And
that way you have what Oliver North once called plausible deniability. That way you can say, well, I wasn't planning on it, but the reality is, if you're healthy and you don't use birth control and you have sex on a regular basis, chances are at some point you're going to get pregnant.
Right. Right.
But you didn't really care about having that discussion because that would end your little plan.
Exactly.
So it was all about your deceiving him.
It was. And it was just, and I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Yeah, but you don't feel guilty enough to not take the money.
Well, I need the money.
You need the money because of your own deception.
Well, I don't know. I guess I could stop the child support. It's not like it's that much. And it's
if you felt that guilty about it, you could certainly say, you know what, I've come to a realization that I was wrong, that I deceived you, that it was the wrong thing to do. I have felt horrible about it, and I've suffered for it, and I've given it a lot of thought, and I've decided, you know what, it's not fair for me to take this money.
Well, it's already court-ordered, and I don't know.
You could easly write a check for the amount and send it back to him. You could. If that's what you wanted to do, you could do that. But you won't.
No, I won't. And I won't.
So you don't feel that badly about it?
Yeah, I do feel badly about it, but money's not going to make a difference or change the situation.
Well, guess what, dear? You've got a husband now. You've got a husband now.
Right.
So it's not like you're broke.
No.
So you're doing this to make some kind of point. You're taking the money from him.
You know what, Tom, to be honest with you, we're in the process of, my husband's going to be adopting him, so the child support's going to stop anyways.
But you're going to get every penny you can until that happens.
No, it should be shortly happening here, not too long.
Well, there'll be a check this week or this month, won't there?
Yeah,
and you'll keep it.
You know what? You're probably right, and I will write a check and I'll send it back to him.
That to me, it only makes sense.
You're right, but the fact of the matter is too. It takes two people, and I think that you should continue to advocate.
I will continue to advocate it, but again, that's again trying to get off the subject of you deceiving this guy.
But I already know that I just tried to share my story with you. I don't want you to come down on me.
It's not that I'm coming down on you, dear. I'm just simply saying that to accept the money is hypocritical if you really believe what you're telling me. That you feel badly, you feel horrible. You've heard me come down on people. This isn't coming down on you. I'm just having a conversation with you. If you really feel as badly as you say, how can you take money from this man?
Well, Tom, it's taken, 15, 14, 13 years for me to really realize that.
Well, whenever you realize it, that's the moment you should stop taking the money.
Probably, but I never thought about sending the money back, I guess, until you told me, or just, until we're having this discussion. I mean, I can't say I've ever even told another soul what I just told you.
No, I'm glad you told me. And that's why I'm not coming down on you like a ton of bricks. I'm just having a conversation with you and trying to make people start thinking this way if I can. Perry, what did you want to say to Heather?
Tom, how are you? 11-year listener. Heather, this is a legal form of fraud. This is what you're doing. Do you realize that?
And
women have this out there. This is a legal form of fraud that women have, and men don't have this, but women do it all the time, don't they, Tom?
Of course.
Why can't we do something about this?
You can.
It's called entrapment.
You absolutely can. You know what you do? You go to the sperm bank and go have them freeze some of your sperm, and you go get a vasectomy, and then when you need your sperm, you get it out.
Of course, notice women never say, well, you know what, I'll get a tubal ligation, and then later I'll reverse that.
But then they have control over their bodies and what's happening. You're not giving your control up to anybody.
Yeah, but the point is that there are guys, I don't know how old you were, what were you, 25 when you got impregnated? Your boyfriend was probably 27 or something?
I was 23.
You were 23. And how old was your boyfriend?
He was 22.
22. Now, he may want to have children when he's 35.
Right.
But not when he's 22.
Right.
So the point is, for him to have a vasectomy, only 65% of vasectomies are reversible. The other 35% are not. And what you're suggesting, a permanent solution for something, he may only need a temporary solution.
Well, he can go there's that cryo storage, and they can freeze it for up to many, many years. So when they do need it, then they can get it out. I mean, unfortunately, they don't have the control over their bodies. I mean, unless they're putting on a condom, they're going to put themselves at risk.
Well, women have the control of entrapment.
Well, you guys have as much control over the situation as we do. Don't give it up.
No, that's not true, because if we tell you we don't want a baby and you go, oh, no, I promise you I won't have a baby, and then bang, you get knocked up, and the next thing you know, 18 years we're writing checks. We do wear condoms. Condoms aren't always 100% effective.
Well, then you need to talk to the hand.
No, what you need to do is put Tabasco in the condom like Tom says.
No, you need to talk to the hand or don't have sex.
Yeah, see, women don't need to talk to the hand, do they?
Well, you can if you want to.
Tom, I appreciate you, buddy, and, take me out porno music style. That's what she needs. Thanks.
All right, real quickly here, because I want to get one more call in here. All right, that's enough. John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, who is this backpedaling bitch anyway? She's calling up saying how sorry she is, and then all of a sudden, like you're saying, she's collecting child support. Unbelievable.
Well, that's just the reality of the situation.
Because I really believe what the magazine article said, that women don't think they're doing anything really wrong.
And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
Yeah, but
back then,
if you were really sorry, you'd start
and another
getting
thing,
that child support back to him.
You don't have to be insulting and calling
right
me names.
away.
I don't think that's necessary.
And start refunding him half of the child support that he paid throughout these years. Yeah.
No, because it compensated for the fact that he.
Yeah. Blah,
whatever.
Blah.
Yeah. All right.
You put him in that situation and then you charge him for it?
He put himself in that situation too. He could have said no. So.
In other words, he was stupid. He was stupid to believe in you, trust you, and to believe that you wouldn't have a baby. He tells you he doesn't want to have a baby, and when you don't object, he thinks that means you also don't want to have a baby. And you don't really have the whole conversation with him is really what it boils down to. We don't need to be mean about it here. You've been nice enough to tell your story. Darren, what do you want to say to Heather?
Hey, Tom, this you got to replay this. This is the perfect public service announcement for the legalization of prostitution, man. Men, just like you always say, men need to ejaculate just like we need to eat and we need to sleep. You got women like this out here entrapping men, taking child support from this guy who obviously didn't want to have kids. It's just ridiculous. You legalize prostitution, the divorce rate drops, abortion drops, unwanted pregnancies drop. It cures everything.
All right, Heather, Darren, thank you for the calls.
Tom Leykis, 1-800-5800-866.
Beer, 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 beer.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Talking to women who thought, hey, he says he doesn't want kids, but he'll change his mind, or I'll surprise him. And he didn't like it. Now you're confused. Tell me. Samantha on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I called because I didn't like how this was being spun. Number one, there are such things as accidental pregnancies. And number two...
Yeah, but most of the so-called accidental pregnancies happened when nobody was using any birth control, which is not an accident.
No, but there are accidental pregnancies while you...
But those are the minority.
Yes.
The vast majority of pregnancies, somebody wanted to impregnate or get impregnated by somebody else.
Yes. Now,
and then they say, oops.
Number one, there's usually telling factors. And if men need to know that there is a thing called a condom. And maybe you don't feel the same friction, but if you really are that adamant on not having a child, you need to...
Well, I agree that men should use condoms. However, condoms are not reliable. They are less reliable than most forms of birth control. Not that I would be without one. I wouldn't.
By 2% less reliable.
No, it's more like 5%. And that is because sometimes people don't know how to use them properly. They're not rolled out properly. They're not stretched out properly. People put them on inside out. I mean, there's a variety of reasons. Not to mention the fact that sometimes they are out of date. They dry out. They slide. They crack. I mean, a million things happen with condoms that do not happen with birth control pills and other forms of birth control. That's a fact. Having said that, I still would never be without one. Ever.
And that's why you don't have children. And
no, the reason that's not the only reason, because I impregnated 4 women. The reason I don't have children is because before I have sex with somebody, I make them give me a direct answer to a direct question. If you got pregnant, would you have the baby? If the answer is not no, I'm out. Like if the answer is, oh, I don't know, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Thank you. Done. If a woman says, oh, I doubt it, I don't think so, out.
Then
that is why I have no children. Because beyond using a condom, I make sure I only have sex with women who can, under the gun, can answer that question.
Well, see, now that's the intelligence. What was angering me is that there's these vindictive men who are so angry at these women who got pregnant and now they're taking their money, which doesn't always happen, as is apparent in my case. But if they were that adamant, they should have been doing the same things. I would just like them to take a little bit responsibility. I feel like all of the blame is being put on the woman.
But by the same token, this hour is about an article I read about women who do this intentionally. They know the guy's not using a condom. They know the guy doesn't want to have kids. They're giving him a little nudge.
And that's the thing. There's stupid people in the world.
But by the way, according to this article I read, this seems to be the plurality of situations. Women are saying, you know, my man, not mature enough, not ready for responsibility. I need to just give him a little push.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, is that there should be some responsibility on the man's side.
But that's not, again, that's a different topic. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about women we're not talking about women who accidentally got pregnant. We're talking about women who wanted to get pregnant.
About men not wanting to take any of the responsibility.
That's not what we're talking, that's not this hour. We've talked about that on other shows. That's not the topic this hour.
Well,
the topic do I need to explain it again? The topic this hour, I'm going to keep explaining it until you hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
The topic this hour is women who know the guy's not using a condom. They're glad he's not using a condom. They have an agenda to have a baby. They don't tell him they're going to have a baby. They think because they can change a man that once they find out the woman is pregnant, the guy will be thrilled about it. Then they're shocked when the guy is angry or he leaves. That's the topic.
Is that it's common knowledge that there's women out there. I don't understand.
It's not just that they're out there. They are. It's an epidemic. It's a pandemic. This is so wide-reaching. It is happening so much.
Exactly. So why aren't men taking the precautions to stop it?
That's why you need to have shows like this and articles and then people calling in. That's why I had women telling this story. So the intent was not for you to call in and scold them about condoms. The intent was to let men know how many women are doing this.
I'm just saying to men.
The topic is not men. The topic. All right, I'm done. Thank you. Topic is not men taking responsibility. It's not the topic, and I'm not going to let you change the topic of the show. Not going to let you do it. Julie, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So, you want to hear my story, obviously? Right?
No.
No. Okay. So, me and my husband got together when we were just dating. We weren't even boyfriend and girlfriend. He's the one who came at me saying, oh, I'd like to settle down one day and have babies and have a family, this and that.
One day.
Yeah.
Which meant in the future.
I know.
It didn't mean at the time he was making the comment.
I know.
Okay. But you decided to just press the fast forward button.
Yeah. I went ahead and one night we got into a fight. And so to show him that I loved him, because it was over jealousy issues that he had, to show him that I loved him, I decided after the makeup sex to go ahead and pop my legs up on the wall and make a baby.
Fascinating. I'm not being facetious.
I know.
It's fascinating that somebody would think that would make something up to somebody.
Yeah, I know. So.
You know what I'll do? I'll saddle this guy with an 18-year financial responsibility to show him how much I love him.
Oh, no. Now that you put it like that.
So what happened?
So now we have 3 kids.
3 kids? And by the way, tell everybody how old you are with 3 kids.
I'm 25. My oldest just turned 3.
25. So you're pregnant every 9 months.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's part of the story which I find fascinating that you told Dino that you didn't tell us.
Huh.
Where is your husband?
Oh, he's in jail.
He's in jail. And why is that?
Because got a court order of protection against him. After I squashed it, the state took it up because he would call me, which was on the order of protection for him not to do. I reported it every time he did it. And then he got on probation. Then he screwed it up by not doing what he was told.
Are you in therapy?
I should be.
Yeah, so you see, you had, how many babies did you have with this guy after you knew he was physically abusive?
3. He wasn't physically. No. I was a physical abuser.
You were a physical abuser.
Yeah.
So why was there an order of protection against him?
Because I would have rather been beaten than what he was putting in my ear.
Why didn't you just leave him?
Because I had nowhere to go.
You had nowhere to go? How about you get a job and an apartment like most of us?
Well, my second child was...
No. You said you knew what kind of person he was before you had any kids.
Yeah.
So why did you have any kids with somebody like that?
I needed to be loved.
So you had a mental illness or you had a problem that needed therapy.
I know, but
instead of getting therapy, you started cranking out kids. Another generation of your problem now will be out there in the universe.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you tell the kids Daddy's in jail?
Well, he's getting out in November.
That doesn't matter.
It's hard. I tell him that he's in timeout.
Right.
I know.
And you think they're not going to figure this out? You think someone's not going to tell them down the line what happened?
No, I know they're going to figure it out eventually.
Right. So wouldn't it have been a better idea not having any kids, to get out of the relationship, to get a job?
Yeah.
To get an apartment?
Yeah, but I don't... See, that's just the thing is that
See, the point I'm trying to make is the women who want to have babies and make guys be more responsible, many of them are like you. You needed more responsibility.
No, I didn't want to.
You needed an apartment, and you needed a job, and you needed to take care of yourself and not depend on a man.
It's very hard to be on the offense with you.
Yeah, because I'm right.
Well, yeah, if you, looking from your point of view, yes, you are.
No, looking from anybody's point of view. You needed your own responsibility. Why is it a man's job to be more responsible, to step up to the plate? Why couldn't you do it?
I guess it's my view on marriage, like some of the callers you've had on that subject. I guess the man's supposed to wear the pants in the family and whatnot. But I never objected to going to school or going to work or any of that.
Why didn't you do it? Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Now, why did you have a child at 18?
Okay, you're right. I had really low self-esteem. And I did it on purpose, though.
You did it on purpose?
Yeah. Is that the dumbest thing you've ever heard?
Yep.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.